Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful week. It's nice to see you all and catch up with you. So today, I want to talk about the inner critic. Have you ever met your inner critic? Maybe you have and you just don't know. So what is the inner critic? It's that voice in your head that sometimes you can hear, sometimes you can't hear it. Sometimes you don't even know that it's there. Sometimes you're not even aware of it. So the inner critic will show up when things are different, when things are scary, when things are changing. Yeah, and when you're trying something new. And so many other times it can show up. So, like I said, sometimes the inner critic you're not aware of, and sometimes it shows up and it's loud and clear. So this is what I like to use to represent the inner critic. It looks kind of mean, kind of like a bad guy, kind of like a superhero too, because it has a lot of powers. This inner critic is your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind when it's what we like to call on the downside, So, like I said, it shows up in lots of different situations. A lot of emotions that this inner critic represents are fear, desperation, feeling let down, feeling pissed off, when you're procrastinating, when you're complaining. That's your inner critic. Also, when you are doubting yourself, that's the inner critic. Just yelling out loud. And what it's doing is trying to get your attention, and it's trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you in your comfort zone. Piper wants to get the inner critic. She's not happy with it. So, the inner critic can look and sound like a monkey, but it can also sound like other people in your life. Who are the voices of your inner critics? Maybe it's a parent. Maybe it's a teacher, a grandmother. Maybe it's the old lady from down the street that yelled at you when you were little. The inner critic can be anybody in your life, or those voices of people in your life that have created these beliefs in your mind. Well, you've created these beliefs based on your past experiences. So those experiences with other people, with your parents, that old lady down the street, whatever it may be, that critic is there and it's running your life. It's, as I mentioned before, the subconscious mind. And it's there to keep you safe. So pay attention to when it shows up. Take a minute to think about right now. When does that critic show up for you? When does it rear its ugly head and start to yell? Sometimes it happens to me when I'm driving and somebody cuts me off. That critic comes out loud and clear. Yeah! Yelling, yelling, yelling. So, how do you feel when this critic shows up? Do you try to escape it? Do you talk to it? Or do you just completely ignore it? Or how do you know when the critic is there, but you're not even aware of it? Those are great things to think about. A great reference point for when you may have that critic showing up and you don't know it is just when you're not feeling good. You've maybe got some anxiety, maybe you're upset, maybe you're sad. Not all the time, but often that's when that critic is there, showing up. Screaming, getting your attention. It's keeping you safe. But there's something that we can do to tame this inner critic. And we're going to talk about that next week. So, just some food for thought. Put in the comments, where does your inner critic show up for you? What does it say? What does it sound like? Does it sound like somebody you know? Maybe it's your own voice in your head. Let me know, and I can't wait to hear it. See you next week. Bye.